Okay, we're going to do something new today. We're going to do about exponents, expressions with a repeated factor such as 10 times 10 times 10 can be written by using a base, which is the factor, with an exponent. The base is the number that's being used as a repeated factor. Now remember, factors go with multiplication. The exponent is the number that tells how many times the base is used as a factor. So we have our factor is 10. So we could write 10 times 10 times 10. Or we could just write the factor we're using, 10. And how many times are we repeatedly multiplying it? 3 times, which is the exponent. And 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1,000. If we're going to write it in word form, we first tell the exponent, the third power of 10. So right here's your 3. That's the third power of the base 10. Or if we're going to write it in exponent form, it's 10 to the third power. What is 10 times 1,000 written as an exponent? Well, let's do a little investigating here. How many ones are in 1? 1. How many ones are in this 10? 10. How many tens are in this 100? 10. How many hundreds are in this 1,000? 10. How many thousands are in 10,000? Well, I'm not sure. So I would like you to draw a picture to the side here. And for every 1,000, I want you to make a square with a T in it that represents 1,000 until you get to 10,000. So stop the tape and do that, please. When I did it, I had 10 of them. So it takes 10 of them to do that. So you're telling me it took 1, I had 1 of them to start with, times 10, times 10, times 10, times 10, and I got 10,000 when I used base 10. So 1 times 10 is 10. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1,000. And 1,000 times 10 is 10,000. So how many times did I have to take it times 10? Well, if I look here, I had to take it 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's really 10 to the 4th power. So 10 times 1,000 is 10 to the 4th power. Got a question here. It says, hummingbirds beat their wings very fast. The smaller the hummingbird, the faster its wings beat. The average hummingbird beats its wings about 3 times 10 to the 3rd power times a minute. How many minutes is that written in a whole number? So we just take 3 times 10 to no power is just like saying 3 times 1, because there's no zeros, which is 3. 3 times 10 to the 1st power, which is my whole number, and 1 0, because my exponent tells me take it times that. 3 times 10 to the 2nd power is like 3 times 10 times 10, which is 300. 3 times 10 to the 3rd power is like, and that's what we're talking about up here, 3 times 10 times 10 times 10 is 3,000. So the average hummingbird beats its wings about 3,000 times. Okay, now I would like you to stop the tape right now and talk to your partner about what pattern did you notice here with your answer and the exponents. So what pattern did I see? Well, I'd like you to write down the pattern that you saw and stop the tape, write it down, and then see when it's the power 10, the number of zeros written after the whole number is the same as the number in the exponent. So if I look back, here's my whole number, here's my base, no zeros. Here I have 1, look at I have 1 0 my answer. But remember, it has to be with the base of 10. It worked every time. So if I have to write this as, so please write this as an exponent form and a word form. Stop the tape and do 1 and 2. I have 10, my base, and my exponent is 2. To write it, remember I always have to put the exponent first. The second power of 10, if I did this one, it is 10, and I have 5, so it's the fifth power of 10. All right, please do the value. The value is just like saying 10 times 10, because I have 2 of them, and that equals 100. I would like you and your partner to do the next 2, please, and stop the tape, and then check your answers. All right, you do the number 6, your partner does number 7, so decide who does it, check your answers. Then one of you do 8, one of you do 9, you both do 10, check your answers. I hope you're getting the right answers. If not, call me back over. Complete the pattern. This is just like what we did with the hummingbirds. Please stop the tape and do that. Hope your answers look like that. Okay, let's talk about this part now. If it says n just means a number, what number is missing? So if I have 10 to the third power, it is the same as saying 10 times 10 to what power? Well, if I look at it and I write it down, I can have 10 times, and what's my base? 10 times 10, because I have to have 3 of them. Or 10 times, what was 10 times 10? So the value of n is, so when I put 10 times 10, that equaled 100. How many 10s did I need to equal 100? 2, so the exponent is 2. Explain how to write 50,000 using an exponent. So talk to your partner about this. Come back. I did 5 times 10,000, or 5 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, or 5 to the 4, 5 times 10 to the 4th power. Because I have how many zeros? All right, we got a story problem. One year, Mr. James traveled 9 times 10 to the third power miles in his job. So the first thing I'm going to do is, what is 9 times 10 to the third power? Well, to me, that is 9 times 10 times 10 times 10, which is 9,000. The next year, he traveled 1 times 10 to the 4th mile. How many miles, what was that? That was 1 times 10 times 10 times 10, which is 10,000. So now that I know what these two equal, I just have to do how many more miles did he travel the second year than the first year. So now that you have your data written down, explain how you would get that answer. Do it on your paper, please. Stop. I did 10,000 minus 9,000 because he went 10,000 the first year and a second year and only 9,000. Or some of you might do 9,000 plus what equals 10,000. And I figure out it is 1,000 more miles. Lake Superior is the largest of the Great Lakes. It covers the surface area of 30,000 square miles. How can you show the estimated area of Lake Superior as a whole number multiplied by the power of 10? What are you asked to do? Well, it says right here, I need to multiply the whole number by the power of 10. So I need to show 30,000 as a whole number multiplied by the power of 10. How can I use a pattern to find the answer? Well, if I look at this here, I could go fill this in first, because this is going to show me the pattern. Oops, sorry. Okay, and I came up with 30,000. So what pattern did I want? What I need to do? I could look at the whole number and look at the power of 10 and count the zeros, and know that 3 times 10 to the 4th power is 30,000. Yolen says 10 to the 5th power is the same as 50 because 10 times 5 equals 50. What mistake did he make? Talk to your partner about that, please. He multiplied 10 times 5 instead of 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Too many 10s. All right, go back into your journal and add examples of a base. This is what I did. I wrote a base with an exponent. I highlighted just, even though it doesn't look like it, I highlighted just the base and highlighted the word base, which equals 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Then under exponent, I did the same example, but this time I highlighted the 4 because that's the exponent, and I put the 10 times 10 times 10 down there. Then do your homework on your own. On page 27, do the even numbers. On page 28, do the odd numbers. And when you're done, staple it and hand it in. Thank you.